Hello gamers and welcome back. I'm Rob, of course, or Warshack if you want to call me by my in-game name, and I'm quite excited to be bringing you the super secret Mage deck guide tonight. It should be fun, but before we get started, for those of you who are unfamiliar with our deck guides and how we do things, we talk about all the cards in the deck, why I have what I have in here, why I have the number of them in this particular deck, kind of the breakdown of the deck, what we're really looking for. If anything strange sticks out, I also talk about that in the deck list phase, and then from there we'll transition into playing a few games with the super secret Mage deck. I'll explain my turns, why I do what I do, and basically just the overall kind of what is the deck trying to accomplish, what are you aiming to do in these matches, and how should you basically play the deck. Hopefully we can get matched up against, hunters, shamans, warriors, other mages, so we can actually go against the classes you're going to see most on the ladder, but we'll see what happens when we get into the ranked. Let's look at the deck list first. So, Super Secret Mage should also give you the insight. Yes, this is going to be a secret Mage deck, and it's going to revolve around playing lots of secrets and cards that synergize well with secrets. First of all, the Babbling Book, it looks to be a little weird because there's no secret in the name. It doesn't actually do anything that synergizes well with secrets, but it's a turn one play, and right now the meta is very, I wouldn't say very aggressive, but a lot of Shaman, a lot of Hunter, and a lot of Tempo Mage guys. And being able to play a minion, whether it's not the strongest minion, but being able to at least play a minion on turn 1, 2, and 3 is very important right now. So that's why I have the Babbling Book, not only as the body, but also the Battle Cry, because the Battle Cry gives you a random spell, and that spell, believe it or not, could be a secret. So sorry about that, guys. So believe it or not, this card is most of the time going to give you a pretty decent spell. I mean, you could give you, Shatter every once in a while, but most of the time the spell you're going to get from Babbling Book is quite nice, and if it's secret, just energizes better. The Mana Worm, as we know, Mana Worm is basically a staple in most Mage decks besides maybe like the Freeze Mage, but in this deck there are still a lot of spells for it to synergize with, so of course we're going to have that brilliant Mana Worm. The Secret Keeper is a little bit interesting, right? Because this is a card that we used to see it in the Secret Paladin. Now we're seeing it in the Secret Hunter deck, but we don't really see it much in Mage. And there's two reasons why I have it in the deck. First of all, having a Sorcerer or a Secret Keeper, and then on turn 2 you coin into a Krintor Mage into a Secret is a super power play. Also, the amount of Hunters that are on ladder, right? Because I think Mages don't really. The matchup against Hunter isn't that favorable, in my opinion. So having the Secret Keepers when you're going against Hunter and you can drop a Secret Keeper on 1, 2, or 3, or even 4, when they play all their secrets, it's going to buff your Secret Keeper as well. So it might keep them at bay a couple turns so you can actually build up at least a solid board or some secrets to be able to either counterspell or to mirror entities some of what they've got going on so you can play your secrets. So this is basically works well with this deck in general, but also against people it works really well. So it's not just a your deck synergy, it also synergizes well with the Hunter decks, which is very popular right now. Of course, as the meta changes, Secret Keeper could phase out and we can introduce another card in the deck, but for now Secret Keeper has pulled her own in every single game I've drawn her, besides like drawing her on turn 10, of course, with no cards in hand. That's just bad, but most of the time she's pulled her weight. Double Frostbolt's basically a staple in basically any Mage deck. I don't know a Mage deck that doesn't run double Frostbolt, double Fireball. So that's kind of just said. The Valet is very interesting, right? Because it's a card that no one sees play, and of course, we tried it out in the secret Mage deck, and of course it works. The problem is, though, you don't normally play it on turn 2, right? Like I said, in this deck, you're trying to play, at least a minion or a solid secret on curve, but with the Valet, if you play this guy and you don't have a secret down, he's just a 2 for 2/3, which isn't the best. So ideally you're going to be able to play this guy maybe turn 4, turn 5, turn 6, and maybe not deal the 3 damage face, but you're going to be able to make a value trade with that 3 damage for only 2 mana. So very good card at that. Definitely run 2 of these guys, and also you can combo well with the Krintor Mage, playing secrets for free. You pop them off on 4. Yeah, just in general, really solid card, and don't be scared to play him just as a 2/2/3 body, but if you see secrets being lined up in the future, I would hold them off on the value. The Sorcerer's Apprentice is nice because of how many, 3-drop spells we have in this deck. If you can play a Sorcerer's Apprentice on 2 and it doesn't get killed, you can follow up with then, a decent 3-drop spell, and then follow it up with maybe a 1 or 2-drop spell after that. It's also just a really good staple, and most Mage decks do this fact that your spells cost 1 less, and Mages most of the time run a very high amount of spells. The Arcane Intellect is your draw mechanic to be able to keep the gas going. This is basically, along with your Kabbalist Tome, is your gas base. It's your draw mechanic. It's what you continuously keeps your hand flowing, and hopefully you can draw into some good stuff. I don't know why it was so hard for me to talk about Arcane Intellect. Draw 2 cards speaks for itself. Counterspell. I tried running 2 of these, and it's just not proactive enough on the board, because if you're Counterspell is a great card, but it's good when you're either tied with your opponent or you're ahead of them. But if you're falling behind, a Counterspell doesn't actually do anything for you, so that's why there's only one in the deck. The Ice Block, of course, only run one of these because this is, again, not a very proactive card. It's a very good card, either, again, when you're tied, or maybe even when you're ahead and your opponent, you know, they're a hunter and they've got the burst damage on you and you're going to win the following turn. Having that Ice Block kind of guarantees you're going to live the following turn to be able to, you know, whatever, Frostbolt, Fireball, whatever combo you've got piecing together. So I find one of these, again, very good. And also your Tome and your Babbling Books can generate more secrets for you, which of course can be Ice Block. The Kryntor Mage, Super Secret Mage, kind of just going with the whole secret thing. Definitely a really, really good card. A 3-drop for 4/3. The stats are there, and then it's Battle Cry. You play a secret and it costs 0. So you're basically getting 6 mana's worth for 3, and you've got a good statted body on the board. So very good. The Mirror Entity. This is basically the only secret you're going to run 2 of, due to the fact that it is proactive. It allows you to keep up with your opponent, especially when you're behind, because it summons maybe one of their better creatures if they don't play around it, depending on who you're playing against. If you're playing against maybe like a Zoo Warlock, this is not the best secret for you to get, because most of the cards they play are only 1 or 2 mana. But a lot of the times you find yourself playing against Shamans. They drop Thing from Blows, Tunnel Trogs, Fire Elementals. There's a lot of Azure Drakes. There's a ton of good creatures that Mirror Entity can bring out, especially against, like I said, Shamans and Druids and even Warriors. It's really hard for them to play around this, and most of the time they won't, because they don't see Super Secret Mage coming, and that's one of the things that really takes gives you an advantage in this particular deck, is the fact that your opponent has no idea what the fuck you're doing. It has no idea what you're playing. Sorry about that, guys. I just got back to New York, and the whole climate change is getting to my voice. I don't know how the climate gets to my voice, but all day since I got here, my voice has been really scratchy, and nose is stuffy. So I might be just getting sick. Who knows? Spellbender. This is an interesting one, right? Because it's very similar to Counterspell, but it doesn't actually stop the spell. The spell has to target a creature. So let's say they play Flame Strike, Spellbender won't go. They play Lightning Storm or Maelstrom Portal, Spellbender won't go. But if they play maybe like Lightning Bolt or like a Lava Burst, Spellbender will proc. It also works against if they're going to buff one of their minions. You'll actually be able to buff the Spellbender, which is a really, really powerful play, but currently there's not a whole lot of classes that buff their own minions. What comes to mind is maybe a Beast deck, and they play Marka Usarge, or maybe you're playing against a Paladin and they do Blessings of King, but that's not very often. But the Spellbender is basically going to be able to protect your Kryntor Mage, your Arcanist, your Avian Watchers, and all that good stuff. So good card at that. You can change it out with Counterspell if you'd like, but I found Spellbender to be pretty cool, and a lot of players, again, it's very hard for them to play around a variety of secrets versus like 2, because if they see you have 2 of, it's kind of easy for them to figure out what secrets you're playing. But if you're playing like one of this, one of that, one of this, one of that, you know, 2 of those, it's very, very hard for them to kind of maneuver that. The Arcanist, again, the secrets. If you can control a secret at the end of your turn, gain +2/+2. That's very, very good, because a 4-drop, and then you automatically, if a secret out, he's going to be a 5/5. So it's very, very statted very well. And if he can just sit on the field, which is likely due to the fact that you've got cards like Spellbender, Counterspell, you've got a lot of other high priority targets on the board, just like Sorcerer's Apprentice, Secret Keeper, Mana Worm. It's just going to be one of the number of minions that your opponent's going to want to get rid of in this particular kind of deck. The Double Fireball is basically just a staple. The Watcher is interesting, right? So I tested out the Azure Drake, and then I tested out the Watcher, and I found that most of the time I have a secret out, and playing a 5-drop 4/7 with Taunt is just so much more powerful than playing an Azure Drake with only 4/4 stats. The +1 spell power is nice, but we're not playing cards like Arcane Missiles. We're not playing cards like Roaring Torch, Arcane Blast. We don't need as much spell power synergy. Of course, spell power is nice and the draw is good. So, you know, fitting in maybe one Azure Drake and cutting something could be, you know, if you're looking to do that, maybe to cut a Secret Keeper for an Azure Drake, that's always an option. But the Watchers have definitely pulled their weight in every game I've played, and even a 5-drop 3/6 is pretty annoying. The tome again, gas. I don't know why I arcane intellect. I was like gas, draw, good, blah. But yeah, this is basically, it gives you a chance to get more secrets. It gives you a chance to get more burst to the face. It just gives you a lot of outs, and it gives you the ability to keep the gas rolling versus some of maybe those control decks that'll really grind you out and pick up 2 for 1. So this is basically just a 1 for 3. The flame strike is nice because it's good against basically any deck, to be honest. Most of the time you're going to be able to kill at least 2 creatures with it, whether you're playing against Shaman, Zoo, Hunter, all of the good stuff. It feels really nice flame striking a Zoo player when they've got like a board of 7 minions and all of them have, you know, below 3 health, 4 health. So that feels pretty nice. And the Yogg-Saron, of course, is kind of your oh shit at the end of the game. You click this guy, you throw this guy down when you've got nothing else to lose. Just be sure to not play Yogg-Saron when you're ahead, guys. I've seen it not work out for those people very often. So this is basically your big red button when all else fails, and if he doesn't work, at least you gave it a shot. But it's one of those cards that you can play something else instead. So whether a lot of players don't like Yogg, so you can play like Rag, Archmage, Ronin, things of that nature. It's high value creatures, but I found the Yogg to be pretty sweet in this deck. Because just having an oh shit button is pretty nice. So that kind of wraps up the deck list, why I've got what I've got in here, and kind of the explanation behind the numbers that go behind it, why we run 2 of some and 1 of the others. And with that said, let's head over to the games and see if we can pull off some nice wins for you guys. Alrighty, so heading into our first game here, we are going against the Warrior. I'm going to make the assumption he's playing Control because that's very popular. So whether he's playing, you know, Cthulhu, straight up Control, a N'Zoth, all variations of a Control Warrior, basically, with a few minor tech changes. Or yeah, oh my gosh, straight up super secret mage coming at you on turn 1. Oh my god. At least we drew one of our 6 1-drops, which is why I have them in the deck. So hopefully we can keep. Oh man, I thought that was another secret. So this is obviously not the true hand we're looking for. Getting 3 of the 6 secrets in our deck in the first 4 cards is quite a unique situation I haven't actually been in yet, but hopefully we'll be able to draw into something good. That is something real nice. So we'll actually be able to play 1 secret, and the question is going to be, what secret do we play, right? Do we play the counterspell, do we play the spellbender, or do we play the mirror entity? And I think we're going to go ahead, depending on what he does, we're going to probably drop the spellbender, because I have a feeling he's going to use maybe cards like bash or shield slam, and I would rather him slam a spellbender, but then he draws anyway, so maybe the counterspell is best, but I'd rather counterspell when he might want to brawl or some sorts. Ooh, the Arcanist is good, which means we'd probably want, we know we're playing this guy. And now the question is, I don't think Mirror Entity is the best choice, because if he plays an Alkalite of Pain, that's not like the best value we could get. If we play the Spellbender, if he slams, he still gets to draw a card, as will Counterspell will just stop it in its place, and then he doesn't get to draw. But then we know we're going to play the Arcanist on turn 4, meaning we want the secret to stay around at least 1 turn. So if he plays like a shield block, we kind of want him to play a shield block, because if it counterspells it, then this guy comes out as just a 3/3. So I actually like just going ahead and using the Spellbender, granted that it won't proc on any spell he plays, as with a counterspell. Because we want this secret to kind of stay around, unless he's going to kill a minion, then it's worth killing it, and then we'll just drop the counter spell and go from there. And we'll probably drop the mirror entity, I'm going to assume around turn 5 or 6, because if he Tharzans or plays some high value minion, that'll be quite nice. So the Arcanist will actually be really, really sick here, due to the fact that he'll be at the 5/5 at the end of our turn. He's going to try to slam it, but it's just not going to really work out for him that well. It's just not going to work out. It's just not gonna. Ooh, shield block. This is good. So we're actually. Oh, I'm so sorry. So now we're actually gonna drop the counter spell, because I have a feeling he's gonna try to cast another spell. Whoop. And we'll just go face. I'm feeling like this is a facey kind of game right here. We're pushing a large threat value right here. This guy's gonna be a 7/7. We're stopping the next spell he plays. Could be brawl. I don't think he's gonna drop a creature. Ooh, fuck, we've been bamboozled, boys. God, the same thing happened before. We always forget they have coin. Why do they always have coin? We draw counterspell, they have coin. So that was a big mistake. Big mistakes. All right, so because we made a mistake, the 7/7 has to live. That's all. Alright, so this is not the worst case, but that was pretty bad. So we definitely shouldn't have played the Valet because he had that card out. So we could play the Entity and just ping. There's no reason to play the Ice Block yet due to the fact that we still have Secret Keepers in our deck and we want to be able to go ahead and buff them up as much as possible. Even though it's just a 1/1, it's still better than nothing. So we need to draw into a Tome, an Arcane Intellect, things of that nature. So he's playing Cthulhu Warrior. Arcane Intellect is nice, but the option is we don't have the ability to Intellect and Polymorph Bore, because I kind of want to Polymorph Bore this just to get around it and the fact that it won't really buff up his Cthulhu, and then we can drop the Mirror Entity still. So we actually can go ahead and just Polymorph that, and I like going face. To be completely honest, face does not seem like the worst place right now, because if we wait too long, this game will it won't be kind to us. Not when we go against the Cthulhu Warrior. So if we would have made this trade, he would have been able to kill this anyway, but just not draw the card. So it was like 3 damage worth drawing 1 card. I think it's worth it in the end. So right now he's thinking whether he should execute or not, and then what kind of secret we have down. He probably. Maybe he'll drop like an Alkalite of Pain, a Ravaging Ghoul. Alright, so this not too bad. Not the best value we could have gotten from the Mirror Entity, granted that he is... Oh no, he's going to execute a 3/3. I guess that doesn't feel that bad. But not the true value, right? Not the true value we were looking for. So I guess we can Ice Block and drop the Watcher. There goes my voice again. So it basically all came down to that Brawl turn where we really messed up. But I always forget they have coin. I always forget the coin. So a good draw would be the Valet, because we can actually kill the 6/3. Frostbolt's pretty nice as well. Conjurer's not too bad, but looking for a Frostbolt or a Valet. Alright, we'll try again. Frostbolt. That's not bad, but it doesn't have Taunt. I think we might have to just go deep though. I think we're just gonna go deep. We're gonna not play around the second Brawl. There's just no way. He's 15 cards deep, so he's half his deck. He's drawn 1 Brawl. I can see he clears this. I don't see a Brawl going down, but he can tank up and then, ooh, Baron, that's pretty good. So Baron's going to be able to kill everything but this 5/5. If we can draw a Frostbolt, that'll be pretty... Not a Frostbolt, but a Fireball. Ooh, Fireball is pretty nice. So what do we have here? We have 6, we have 12. We can actually put this guy at... He's at 16, so we put him at 4, but I don't think it's worth it. I think we're just going to Fireball this bad boy right here, and we're going face. So if this was a counter spell, that'd been pretty good, right? Because then this guy could probably stick around an extra turn and win. But this 4 armor, I don't think... If he kills this Arcanist, I don't think our Mana Worm's going to be able to pull through. And again, it all comes back to that turn when we had to remember that he had coin and we had played the counter spell into it, which was very silly. So I guess Yogg would be a really nice draw, because that would be our oh shit button. We can play it because we are, in my opinion, going to be very behind after this turn. So he actually has used 1 Brawl or 1 Execute already. This makes it look like a slam. Okay, so he slams this. So hopefully he just doesn't have the answer to kill our Arcanist. He's looking for maybe he has a Revenge or a Ravaging to bring, because he wanted to bring this down to 1 HP. Looks like a creature because it's not targeting anything. So what creature would that be? Maybe the 6/6, but it doesn't give him armor because Cthulhu isn't active? Brawling. Okay. Arcanist? Arcanist? Ooh, buddy. Alright, so if we can draw into a Fireball, we win. Easy. Tome into Fireball. Easy. Ice Lance, you gotta be fiddling my sticks, bruh. So Effigy brings us back a 4. Mirror Entity lets us copy something. So it's like, what do we value the most? And then do we want to freeze him or not? Because if we can freeze him, it stops the Gore Howl. But if he swings with the Gore Howl, he's just going to die anyway. So I guess I'm just going to go Mirror Entity, ping, and we going face, boys. 9/7 our Arcanist is. This guy is big. He is fucking huge right now. If he plays a creature, I take it. If he kills it, top decks the execute. Can't stop that. Counterspell or Spellbender would have been nice. He actually doesn't have to do anything, so maybe an effigy would be best. Because that would have brought us at least a 4 creature down, right? Yes. Yes, play creature. That's my boy. That's my boy. Trigger that shit. Trigger that shit. Sorcerer's Apprentice is nice. We know we're playing this. Now we know we're pinging this down. We know we're swinging face. And what do we do with this Ice Lance? I guess we freeze this guy. I guess we could have pinged face and then still froze him, right? I guess, no, I think this was fine. We would have done 1 damage face. So now we bring back a 2-drop. Good 2-drop. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. All right, so we have 6 damage. We would have 7, and he would have been at 9. So we would have been 2 off lethal. So Frostbolt is lethal. Fireball is lethal. There's a lot of things lethal here, folks. There's a lot of lethal and not a lot of... Ooh, baby, a triple. Kink, kink. Kink, kink. So last turn, when we had the option to get rid of the Divine Shield, I suppose we should have just frozen him and then pinged it, because we had with him being frozen, we could have just gone ahead and pinged him this turn and then made the trade if he didn't play a creature. But it looks like everything worked out in the end, even with that really bad counterspell at the beginning, which I really need to remember when they have coin and when they don't have coin. It's the second time I've done that. That's the second time I've been bamboozled by the coin. Alright. Same warrior, so we know he's playing the Cthulhu warrior, and he knows what kind of deck we're playing, which really sucks. Because a huge advantage in this particular match is them not knowing what we've got going on. So this is not what we want. So we could actually go 1, 2, 3, coin into 5. Not the worst thing ever. But I feel like that's just really slow. I feel like that's really slow. I don't think like Frostbolt's gonna be that great. I think Counterspell is cool because it'll make him play around things he normally wouldn't play around, like Mirror Entity. So he'll like test things out. Crintor Mage Counterspell's nice. So we go Mana Worm turn 1, coin, Crintor Mage, Counterspell. Feels good, man. Feels good. Maybe we can get a lucky win against this warrior, but I may not even show the game because it's the same warrior twice, and I'd rather not, you know, play against the same guy twice. I want to show you guys different decks. We're not gonna go ahead and coin the mage out because it just dies. Nah, that's pretty good. But I'm gonna wait. There's no reason to summon the mirror images just yet, because if you waste the War Axe hit on this, unless he's gonna disciple it down. Okay. So we're gonna ping this, and then we're gonna mage, coin, do all that shenanigans then. Well, we actually, yeah, we'll have enough mana to do it anyway next turn, so there's no reason to, well, mirror image now. If we draw into like a 1-drop, I guess that works out, because there's no point not to. There's really, I guess if we draw into a Mana Worm. But if we drew into a Mana Worm, we wouldn't want to use coin anyway. Because we want to save coin for like a Kabbalist Tome, depending on what he does with these 2/1/1 or these 2 taunts first. We want him to use his weapon, but okay. Secret Keeper is good. Alright, so this is a very, very solid little tempo play we got going on here. We've got the redraw, we've got the gas, we've got the coin into the Yogg, the plays. The counterspell is nice if he decides he wants to brawl a Reno in the fucking chat arena. You know it's not an effigy because of that attack right there. Now what do you think it is? I feel like a bash or a slam is in order. A shield block, get the fuck out of here. So I feel like if we can draw a Frostbolt, that'd be pretty sick. Because then we can ping Frostbolt, swing. He's gonna slam the O2, okay. And he's gonna make the trade into the Secret Keeper. Oh, he's gonna go ahead and kill it off. Much better play. Much better play. So, do we intellect or do we tome? I feel like tome is more value, but intellect is card. No, we do past that. We just ping that off and go face, I suppose. So, we want to save. Ooh, another mage. A little mage boy. So I guess we know we're pinging this. Do we kill it? Is that the question? Or we just kind of go face? Because we know he's going to make this trade anyway. So I think we just go face. And the reason we can go face is because even if he decides he wants to use a spell on this, we're going to draw a secret. And that secret's going to be able to valet. We're going to be able to kill that 4-2. We didn't draw a secret. I have failed you. Tome into tome. Tome into tome. The value. So what do we want to do? We want to attack this 4-3 and then arcane blast that, or do we just want to arcane blast the 4-2? I'm not sure. I feel like killing the disciple is more important, but if he makes this trade anyway, we can just kill this. But it's basically the same thing. It's basically the same thing. Because we're going to be able to valet this anyway. So wouldn't we want to stop the most damage? I don't think there's going to be a way around it no matter what. Yeah, I think it's fine. Cthulhu's already a 10-10, so that doesn't matter. As long as he doesn't play Veclor, we're alright. If he plays Veclor, then we need Flame Strike. Fuck. This is gonna be a rough game. That's a hard turn 7 to beat. It's a hard turn 7 to beat. We need the Mirror Entity last turn if he was gonna do that shit. So I guess we still go with the same plan, right?
We have many secrets.
So we'd Secret Keeper free, then puts us at 3. This goes down here, and that puts us at, yeah.
I'll never tell.
Excuse me, you are on fire.
Nice.
And I don't think we coin. I think we chill. I think the second tome is going to be huge in this matchup. That's a lot of gas considering he only has 4 cards in hand, and this is one of his big boys, right? The armor is not really what we care about from the 6/6s because we can just fireball those down. This is now 4 range, which means this can take this out unless he makes the trade there. That'll put this in 3 range, which means we can actually attack, ping, and then line up like a 5/5 against his 4/4, making him have to Ravaging Ghoul. So forces plays that he may or may not have. Not sure yet. He also doesn't know what this entity is yet. He knows it's not a mirror entity, or an effigy. My bad. I might have stated that before in this match. I might have said he knows it's not a mirror entity when I meant effigy. Everything's a mirror entity. Attacks the 2/3, leaves the 4/3 up unless he's gonna bash it. He doesn't know what that secret is. This is the super secret mage fucking with his mind. He's going for the draw, bringing it down to 2 HP. If we can punish that some way, withdrawing maybe a Frostbolt or something of that nature. Sorcerer's Apprentice really isn't going to change anything. We could Sorcerer's Apprentice Tome, which isn't bad.
Someday I'll be just like you.
See what we get from here. Another Tome! Wow! This is insane value! This is insane! We of course make this trade. We don't have anything to freeze, so we could actually freeze and ping this, and then ping it again next turn, which feels pretty good. Wow! The value! That's tome into tome into tome! Gee willikers. The super secret, this is turned into value mage. This has sincerely turned into the value mage. Alright, so we've copied that. He's killed his own guy. We can save the ping. But we definitely know we're probably going to tome, but he's running out of gas. If he drops Cthulhu, we need to get like a polymorph or something. All right, so we can just trade off both minions into that. That's not a big deal. Like, we have to kill this and both minions is going to do it, unless we want to tome first. If we tome first, it's at 4, then we're at 5 mana, then this is going to go to 7. And we can't afford to do that because we actually want a Firelands Portal that. Unless we get a secret down. We don't have a secret down, so that's not going to work. So we definitely want a Firelands Portal, period. Yeah. So this goes into here. This goes into here. This gets Firelands Portaled. And we ping. What does the fuck this do? Alright, it's just a 3/6 for 5 mana. Feels good. It's better than a 3/3 Ram Wrangler, I'll tell you that. Now he's gonna drop Cthulhu and we're gonna get decimated. How many cards? How many cards? How many cards? 16. Almost halfway. Alright, I'm not worried about that. I can deal with that. Fireball lines up quite nicely. What we do need, though, we have not seen the brawls yet. We have not seen the brawls. BRHD feels pretty good. We definitely gonna go ahead and fireball this down. We know we need to play this Mirror Entity, which feels alright. And then we can actually coin into the Arcanist, which feels okay as well. Puts a lot of pressure on the board. He's got a lot of armor. I can expect a shield slam going down on the Arcanist, but it's going to happen eventually. And this also lines up, maybe he'll think it's a counter spell or the Spellbender. So maybe he won't use, maybe he'll use a cheap spell first. All right, so it looks like he's going for that dank brawl, which means maybe we shouldn't have played the Arcanist. Doesn't have the brawl. This feels good. We can go ahead and valet down this 1/3 unless we want to attack it first, but then we both draw. So I'd rather just ping it down, right? But we don't have a secret, so we're actually going to need to ice block it. Unless we just want to make this trade, and then we can actually go ahead and... There's no great way to deal with this 6/6. Unless we throw our 3/6 and then valet it, then 5/5 into there. But that doesn't feel good at all. So we could tome first, or we could ping this guy first. I think I'm going to ping this guy first. It's a cheaper version of draw. Sorcerer's Apprentice doesn't really change too much. I think we may tome. I don't want to commit too much to the board. Image feels good. But so does Ice Block. Okay. The reason we played the Ice Block instead of the Image is, again, having a secret down, he doesn't know what these secrets are, so it really, really fucks with his head. Mage secrets are one of the hardest things because they're just so powerful. Goes ahead, executes a 3/5. Totally okay with this. Using one of his hardest removals, still attacks face. I'm okay with this. Have an Ice Block down. I'm okay with that. Horak's gonna kill. Gonna allow me to draw some more, buddy. I'm okay with this. Draw me a Frostbolt. Fireball. Another Mirror Entity. Feels good, man. This is the super secret mage coming at you. Spellbender. All right. Again, we have to be careful about the brawl. So I think... I really feel like the brawl is coming soon. So we're gonna juke him out with the ice barrier. We're gonna go ahead and summon the images. And we're just gonna go in. We're just gonna go in. We're not gonna overcommit. We're not committing anymore. This is all we commit. We don't need to commit more. Look at our guy, he's a 9/9. He's saying hello. We have Yogg as a backup plan. We've got the Valet for the 3 damage. We can copy shit. As long as he doesn't drop Cthulhu, we are all right. What are you gonna do there, warrior? He drops the Cthulhu. Maybe we should have Mirror Entity. We didn't go ahead and do that. That's a little bit fucking scary. It's a little bit scary. We can't actually stop this bad boy. We can't actually stop this thing. Do we drop Yogg? Yogg feels like it could do a lot of bad things to us. But Yogg could also do a lot of good things for us. I mean, we could go ahead and just play a bunch of stuff. Like, I don't think he'd brawl it out. If he attacks face, we have Ice Block for 2 turns. I think we Yogg. Yogg, don't fuck me. Kill the Cthulhu. All you gotta do is kill the Cthulhu. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Oh, my God. Oh, stop. 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 Do not kill yourself. Are you fucking kidding me right now? Yes. 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 Very good. Very good. Very good. You did well, Yogg. You did what you were supposed to do. All right, so I want you, warrior, to play a creature, and now I want you to hero power, and Dart Trap is gonna kill that creature. Yes, yes it is. Now kill that creature. Fuck that creature. Oh, whoo, get fucked up. All right, so now we going in. So we don't want to commit 2 of our better creatures. Ice block barrier. I feel like this is all right. 3 mage secrets, a handful of fucking 6 cards against a warrior with 3 cards in hand. If he decides he wants to Gorehowl Phase, we ice barrier up. Like, if he brawls, it's just, there's not a good play for him here. It's not gonna copy that shit. I ain't falling for that trap, bruh. I'm dropping the Mirror Entity though, but that ain't dying because of Spellbender, man. All right, so now we drop the Mirror Entity. What's going on? What's going on? You don't know. You know what? You're getting valeted, bruh. Well, if we drop the valet, it kind of feels bad because then he could brawl and it's really good. Or, yeah, because then we could swing into this, swing into this. He's going to draw it eventually, but I'm not playing around it. We're going to play the Mirror Entity because of Doomcaller. Damn. That come up, though. We have the crown. Super Secret Mage. Coming in clutch, guys. Coming in clutch. 9 cards to his 5. There's Revenge. Not going to do anything here. And there's the Brawl. Alright, so our Arcanist can live, and that's fine. Our Mana Worm can live, that's fine. But this is the worst fucking card to live. That is the worst card to live. Why does this have to live? So we could drop the double Watcher, but again, committing too much to the board is very, very scary against the warrior. He still has another Brawl up. Do not want to give him a good Brawl. If he plays anything, we're going to copy it. So Justicar, I think he drew Justicar. No, did not draw the Justicar. I'm not sure what card he would hold with 10 mana. I'm not falling for your games, bruh. Not falling for those games. And that's lethal. GG. So he's going to kill our 2/2, and then we're going to have 11. Fireball. Frostbolt is going to be 20 damage. He's at 17. And at the end of the turn, Baron Geddon's going to do what Baron Geddon does best. And that's fuck your day up, bruh. I think we're going to keep this game. This was one crazy game yet again, so I think we might keep it. Oh my god. That's one way to go on tilt right there. We didn't get to Mirror Entity the Cthulhu, but we're definitely outvaluing the Cthulhu Warrior somehow. I'm telling you, I told you that tome into tome was going to be the good stuff. All right, another warrior. All right, well, I think we've seen the meta. Nah, 3 games is not a good determine of what is and what is not the meta, but I mean, we're gonna put everything back here. We need our 1-drops, our 2-drops. Got our 2-drop, but we know this is, again, remember what I said, this isn't one of those 2-drops you just play on turn 2. That's a feels bad turn 2 play. We want to draw this later on in the game, get some value from it, kill maybe a decent card. Secret Keeper's nice, though. We'll bait out the War Axe if he has it. If he doesn't have it, he won't know what the fuck's going on. Coins the War Axe. So now he can't coin our counterspell. Whoa, Huge Toad, how you doing? Didn't see that coming. That's a left fielder. Gonna Frostbolt that bad boy down, and we're gonna go face. This going down to 1 HP, not too bad when he only has 2 mana. Granted that he would Revenge to kill it, but let's say it stays. We don't draw. We'll actually counterspell. Oh gosh, go face, go face, go face, go face, go face. Ooh, Poppy. Oh. Super sick. Oh gosh, don't Ravaging Ghoul. Don't ghoul me, bro. Don't ghoul me. Secret Keeper deserves. Oh, she's going down. She's going down. All right, all right. She had her value. So this guy's playing an aggressive warrior deck. Oh yeah, he is. Okay. Alright, so Secret Keeper, Counterspell. This has 2, this has 1. Doesn't feel too bad. It's gonna take both of hits to kill her. Or we can Intellect and then just... Nah, I think we're gonna stay on the aggressive here. I think we're just gonna keep the ball rolling with these guys. The less damage we take face, the better, I think. Ooh, that sucks to suck. Gonna sacrifice the weapon and the creature. If he hero powers here, that'll be really nice. All right, this is super sick. So we get to Arcane Intellect, and then we'll draw into maybe a Mana Worm or something like that. Watcher's fine. Fireball's fine. We actually could drop the Valet here. There's merit to dropping the Valet. The reason being is... I don't know. It's a 2-3 on board. We know he's playing an aggressive deck. His turn 5... He didn't... If he has a Reaper, he'd just go face. He's not gonna clear this. But it's just like, if we draw a Secret next turn, we can go ahead and Secret, kill it. So I think that's the best plan. Well, we'll see if we should have played the 2-drop or not. Based on his play here. Because if he drops like an Elite, right? Deckhand dies to hero power. Very, very weak plays from him. Very weak plays. Qurintor Mage with nothing to... No Secret to play with this bad boy. Maybe we just play him to play him at this point.
We have many secrets.
Feels bad. We only drew 1 Secret so far. And we're at 25 health, which is nice. Goes ahead and makes this trade. Him using... So we know we've used both upgrades, which is nice. And he's taken a decent amount of face damage, which is nice. And we haven't actually played our taunts yet, which is good. Mere Entity is super sick here. This allows us to get a 5/5, forcing him to have 2 damage. A lot of the aggro warriors have cut Slam from their deck, so he'll actually have to attack with his weapon and then execute this if he wants to do so. And if he goes ahead and he still has 5 mana, and then he'll drop an Elite or maybe a 4-drop. Heroic Strike. Okay, he's using a lot of his big kind of finishers to kill all of our creatures, which is again totally okay. This is not what his deck is supposed to be doing. I don't mind dropping the Watcher here. And we're going to go ahead and ping face. We're going to be able to easily outvalue him with cards like Tome, the Valet, the 4/7s with Taunt, Mere Entities down. If he drops any sort of creature, this is going to be rough for him. All right, that's a Toad that's going to die to a nice Valet. Let me park your Toad somewhere in the death zone. Arcane Reaper, he's already used 2 of his upgrades. All right, so if this is 7, no, this would be 6, and then 7, 8. So we actually can do all of that. And I don't think his deck runs Brawl. So I think we are totally, oh yeah, we popped a Secret, so we actually can't Valet. But we're gonna get a Secret here. There we go. But we can't play the Valet in the same turn. But the Effigy is nice because if he kills the Watcher, it'll give us another 5-drop. Forgotten Torch on there doesn't really matter too much. So we're just going to Effigy, make this trade here. Hopefully it just, that's not too good. The reason being is Ravaging Ghoul kills this. I don't know if he plays Ravaging Ghoul though, but Ravaging Ghoul kills it. Blood Ichor kills it. So I would have much preferred it hit the Watcher. The Watcher's going to soak 9 damage. And then it's going to summon another 5-drop. And then we just have lethal next turn. Dude, Super Secret Mage, the Stranglethorn Tiger, he can't even interact with it. So he has 15, we have 6, we've got 3, we've got 10. Yeah. This is just too much. This is too much, man. Super Secret Mage. Killing people, what is it? Something taking names? I totally forgot the saying. What is the saying? Killing people, taking I am going full. I don't know what it is. Anyway, sorry we couldn't play anything but warrior. That's kind of sad, but we're actually since our recent changes to the deck, we're like 8-0 with this. We went from all the way, I think, down from rank 5 or 4 to almost 2 now, and we've lost, I think, none, if anything, once, but that was before the changes that we made. So deck, it's performing very well right now. Whether it's a top tier deck, probably not. But is it a fun deck to play? Yeah. I don't think I've had that much fun playing a deck in Hearthstone in quite some time that's performed as well as it did. And it's so awkward, right? Like, your opponent just doesn't know what the fuck you're doing, and that's just such an advantage right now because everything is shaman, warrior. Everybody knows everybody's deck because it's basically whatever the top 10 streamers are playing, that's what everybody else is playing. So when you bring in something like this, guys, you're that guy, and you're going to go far. So with that said, hopefully you've enjoyed. I know I've definitely enjoyed making this for you and showing off the deck. Best of luck to you guys on ladder, and if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the deck or anything like that, I'll try to answer those, of course, in the comment section below, and feel free for all of you veteran subscribers, if you have anything that you know that you can answer, that'll help me out there, because the comments are getting kind of deep now, and I'm responding to them as much as possible, but it's getting rough. So if you guys can help out there, if you know the answer, fine. If you don't, that's fine. I'll do my best. Like I said, as always, I'm Warshack, and happy whatever the hell day it is.